This is a video sharing examples of ways to summarize information for stakeholders using ADIO's change management methodology. On most projects, there's a lot of information that stakeholders need to know that you as the change practitioner needs to summarize. This is one technique looking at process changes, making the process itself simple, so either bringing it to the key activities or breaking it down to the main steps, and then highlighting what is actually changing using colors, and then also on the screen using a section to summarize the key changes. This allows stakeholders to look at the process that they currently know about, see what's coming in the future, and what's changing very easily. This is another example of summarizing information using a process view. On the left-hand side is the current process, and on the right-hand side, the future process with key changes. What you're trying to do is make it easy for the stakeholder to understand what is changing. Another option for sharing information in a summarized view is using key concepts. On this one pager, you've got the current state on the left-hand side, the future state on the right-hand side, highlighting what is changing, in this case, on how to assign cost centers. It's easy to understand, but it is a lot of work from a change practitioner perspective to create a simplified view of complicated changes. On this example, we're sharing new terminology with our stakeholders. This is where we can identify new terms or where old terms no longer are needed, what they were in the old system, what they are in the new system, and whatever details you need to share with stakeholders so they understand the change. New behaviors is a little tricky for a change practitioner. We could list the new behaviors on a screen with a description and say this is what is expected with your new role. However, what we tend to do is we tend to do different activities to help embed those behaviors. And here's some options on this screen. We've got workshops where we typically have a workshop with the leaders to define the behaviors and the team expectations, and then a separate workshop with the people that need to change their behavior so that they can discuss those behaviors and practice different scenarios to learn those behaviors. Or we could do change activities that encourage people to practice those new behaviors, or update job descriptions and create a visual with those expectations, or we might do all three of these. When you're dealing with new behaviors, you do want to have multiple change activities to help people understand and embed those new behaviors. And the last example in this video is around training on new systems. Training over the years has really evolved. What we're looking to do is share bite-sized information, even if we're training, in addition to any instructor-led training that we might need to do or web-based training. What we tend to do is look at an approach where we can maybe share information about the system up front, share how data would flow through the system, assign some hands-on training. This could be instructor-led, or it could just be, here's your access to the system. This is the activity we need you to do in the system this week, and a different one next week, and a different one the week after. We almost always provide quick reference guides or videos to help people if they're doing transactions in the system, since this allows them to use this guide at the time they're actually doing the transaction. And then we often host different sessions on best practices or tips and tricks, usually at a time where they have access to the system and they can ask their questions and learn from each other. The other component that's on this screen is a training curriculum for those who have not created one in the past. And this is showing the different modalities in whether it's courses or quick reference guides or hands-on scenarios for each role. I hope this information is helpful for you to envision how to simplify information for your stakeholders. It was created for you by ADIO's Change Management Community of Practice.